Hi everybody, my name is Emma. It is day 27 of the Teen Yoga Foundation Zen Challenge. I have tried to come outside to do our yoga practice today, so I'm hoping that that will be okay and you'll be able to hear me properly. For me at the moment, being outside has been so important, and so I wanted to encourage you, if you're in a position to do the same thing, to take your yoga practice outside. The first thing that I've done is I just walked through the garden and grabbed a few things. So I picked up a stone, and immediately as soon as I have that in my hand, that makes me feel better. I picked up a stick, and again, just rubbing that, I properly can feel earth and in between my hands. And then I just picked up a sprig of lavender. So if I rub that between my fingers, lavender's a really nice grounding scent as well. So that's me today. I'm checking in with all the feels really. I've had a very mixed week of just feeling it all, and I'm trying to be okay with that. I had a friend who sent me this, which I wanted to share, and it's by Brené Brown, and she said, "Hitting the wall is real. Hard days suck. There is nothing wrong with us, and we're all going to be okay." And I really needed to read that, so I was very grateful for the friend who sent it to me. And it was just a reminder to keep doing the basics. So today we are going to flow, we are going to ground, and we are going to really try and connect ourselves to the ground. I want you just then to reflect on what I've just shown you, what I've just shared, and what things are you maybe finding tricky, or how's your week been? Are you fine, or can you relate to what I've just shared? And you've got some days that are a bit sucky and hard, and it's okay to have days like that. So pause to reflect, and then let's see if we can drop in to our yoga practice and just maybe create some space, some steadiness, and some solid ground underneath us. You don't need anything, you just need a space that's yours. If you've got a mat, great. If not, don't worry. If you've got a block, again, great. If not, maybe a thick book, but you don't need them, they're completely optional. Okay, so we're going to meet on our mat, and we're going to meet in a cross-legged position. So meeting on our mats, I've popped my stone and my lavender and my stick just at the front to keep with me in this practice. So we're going to first of all take one of your feet, doesn't matter which one, so taking up and picking one up, and we're just going to start feeling into our foot. So maybe massaging into our toes, the space in between our toes, working into the top of your foot, giving them a good squeeze, possibly, the birds are all joining us, possibly rotating your ankle around, feeling into your heel, really getting in there. And again, if you don't like feet, just skip this part, just sit and do some breathing with us. If you're breathing with us, you're doing yoga with us. From there, you're going to take your foot into your hands. So I'm pushing my foot into my hands. I've almost made like a basket for my foot. And from there, remembering that we're not really very warm, we're just going to extend the leg at the knee. So I'm now pushing my foot into my hand. And then I'm just going to allow my knee to bend again. And I'm going to extend my leg all the way up, pushing into my hand, and then allow my knee to bend again. And we're going to do that one more time, extending my leg all the way up, maybe holding it, possibly dropping my head a little bit. There should be nothing that hurts here. It should just feel like a nice stretch, bending your knee back in. You're now going to take your elbow on the outside of your knee and put this hand underneath, and it's a bit like you're rocking a baby, and you're just feeling all the way into your hip joint there, just kind of giving yourself a bit of a rock. And then we're just going to swap sides, so picking up your other foot, feeling into your toes, giving yourself a good massage into them, maybe the spaces between your toes, the top of your foot, into your arch, into your heel, maybe rotating your ankle. Mine just clicked, that's fine. Making a basket for your foot, pushing your foot into your hand, and then slowly extending your leg out at the knee, bringing your knee back into a bent position, extending your leg at the knee again, bringing your knee into a bent position, and we're going to do that one more time. So sat up nice and straight, extending your leg, pushing your heel away, and maybe just dropping your head down for a moment to hold it. Again, you're going to bring your elbow onto the outside of your knee, bring around and just rock your leg from side to open up your hip. From there, popping your hand down, you're going to come now to the leg that you started on, and you're just going to massage very gently. So I'm just in with my thumbs and I'm just massaging down into my leg. I'm starting to just really notice my own body here. Just massaging down, taking my hands, very, very light fists, and just massaging into my leg, going with the fleshy bits, not going with the bony bits. I'm then going to take my hands, I'm going to go into my other leg, getting into my hip crease there as well, massaging all the way down my leg, into the lower part of my leg. Again, just noticing my legs are there, taking very light fists, and again on my fleshy parts, not pummeling but just gently tapping. From there, I'm going to have open hands now, and you're looking for your back. There's like a triangle shape at the bottom of your back. Just feel it. I just want you to lightly tap there. So it's like doing that, but just at the bottom of your back, a light tap. We're just stimulating all your kidneys and things there as well. Next, I just want you to give yourself a wiggle from side to side and just notice where your seat bones connect down into the ground, or you can feel underneath you. I don't want you to move any fleshy parts away. I just want you to circle now, so you're really kind of feeling around the extra parts now of that part of your body that maybe aren't in contact when you're sat down, and then change the other way and go the other way. Maybe rocking forward and rocking backwards, just really thinking about that connection, maybe going from side to side. From there, I just want you to maybe turn your palms up. You're going to close your eyes down. Imagine someone is pulling the top of your head, so you're sat up nice and straight. From there, I want you to imagine that area that you just was circling around, that was in contact with the ground. And I want you to imagine a nice dark red colour. Dark red, but also glowing a bit brightly as well. Now I want you to imagine you were to have a tail. Where would your tail grow from? And imagining that point where your tail would grow from, I want you to imagine now that you actually have a tail that's growing out from that area, and it's growing down through the ground, so through the earth that you're sat on. Maybe it splits like roots of a tree, and it goes down, 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 plugging into the very core of the earth. Feel that steadiness underneath you. That part of you is now connected to that very, very center. And when you inhale, you can inhale energy up through the earth. And when you exhale, you can exhale any worries that you have, and somehow they are absorbed by the earth too. So inhaling, drawing all the energy up from the earth, and exhaling, any worries simply melting away into the earth where they can be held. And doing that one more time, inhaling all the energy, all the goodness up into you, and exhaling anything that's maybe holding you back into the ground. From there, gently fluttering open your eyes. We are going to start warming up our body. So you're going to bring your head all the way down, chin's coming down to your chest. Making sure your shoulders here aren't by your ears, maybe just lowering your shoulders down at the same time. Gently tilting your eyes all the way up so I get to look at the nice blue sky here. From there, maybe just wiggling your jaw from side to side, dropping your chin all the way down, chin to chest, bringing your eye gaze all the way up. Coming back to a neutral position, you're going to look over one shoulder, dropping your chin all the way down, coming to a supported position as you let your eyes drift up, circling your head round, making sure you stop for any areas that are a bit sticky, and then maybe go the other way. Again, just really mindfully feeling, connecting your body to your movement. Bringing your attention into your shoulders, you're going to start rotating your shoulders all the way back, making big circles, thinking about your shoulder blades, and then they're going to go the other way. Really nice. From there, pushing your hands out in front of you. Okay, so you want to feel a really solid connection here, so almost imagine now you're pushing against the trunk of a tree. Okay, so it's a really push, and what happens then is your shoulder blades open apart and come apart. Then I want you to imagine that someone is pushing towards you, and so your shoulder blades, your elbows bend and your shoulder blades come together like they're pinching a pencil. Then you're pushing away again, so energetically pushing away, your shoulder blades open, and then they're coming back together again, your shoulder blades come together and they pinch that pencil, pushing away to come apart one more time. From there, we're going to come over the top of your knees. So I'm going to come side onto you now. And we're going to find our tabletop positions. That's basically your all-four position. You want your knees to be underneath your hips. You want your hands to be like starfish. And we're just going to tilt our pelvis back and forwards. Back and forwards. Just releasing possibly some of the blockages in that area there. Perfect. From there, you're going to just start walking your wrists in different directions. So forwards, hands, fingers to the front, fingers to the side, fingers to the back, coming back to the front again. From there, we're going to do that same shoulder movement. So your hands are like starfish in front of you. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades together. So it's the top of your back coming together there. Push into your hands and your shoulder blades come apart. Allow your shoulder blades to come together one more time, and then allow your shoulder blades to come apart. From there, just come back to a neutral position, maybe tap your feet on the floor, release some energy. From there, you're going to tilt your pelvis backwards, lifting your head all the way up. We're coming to a cow position. You bring your chin to chest at the same time as tucking your pelvis in. Your belly button is coming all the way to your spine. You're pushing through your hands and you're rounding the top of your back into your cat. So exhaling, coming to your cow, pelvis goes away, head comes all the way up. Inhaling, bringing your belly button into your spine, tucking your chin in, pushing through your hands. Last time, coming to your cow, and then coming in to your cat. Really feeling a strong connection into the ground here. From here then, we're going to have permission to colour outside the lines. So this is moving your body in whatever way feels good. So for me today, or for always, it's rolling my ribs around. My elbows might want to start moving. My hips might start want to circling or to circle. I might want to come backwards and come forwards, possibly leaning and looking over the front of my mat, coming all the way back, and then coming to lean forwards a bit. And then I'm going to gradually just allow my hips to come all the way back so that my hips are resting on my heels. I reach my hands out in front of me, and my forehead reaches the ground. Feel the ground underneath your palms. Feel the ground underneath your foreheads. Feel the ground underneath the top of your toes and feet. Now, child's pose is your position whenever you want it. If ever you need to take a break, whether I direct you there or not, you can simply find it. From there, I want you to bring your fingertips towards you. So you're bringing your fingertips towards you. I now want you to lower your fingertips down, but at the same time bringing your weight forwards. Your hands are going to come flat on the mat, and then you're simply tilting and looking over the edge of your mat. Now engage your tummy muscles. Bring your hips all the way back with finding that child's pose position, and you're bringing your hands all the way up, feeling a stretch in your forearms. Your hips come forward, your hands flatten on the floor, and you're going to look forward one more time, and then you're coming to a nice neutral position. From there, hands connect with the mat, your knees are connected with the mat, you're going to tuck your toes, okay? From tucking your toes, you're going to then make everything really nice and strong, and we're just going to hover your knees up off the floor. So now you should really feel your toes connecting in with the mat, it's really strong. And then just lower down one more time, pushing your hands into the mat, pushing your toes into the mat, lifting your knees up, and then from there you're going to just allow your hips to come up, and we're going to find our first downward dog. So in downward dog, our hands have got that nice starfish position. My heels are making their way down towards the mat, and we're just going to here bend our knees slightly and try and lift our hips a bit higher. Drop your head down. From here, you're pushing one heel down, you're lifting one toe up, pushing one heel down, lifting one toe up, pushing one heel down, lifting one toe up, and just do that a few times. Again, you're going to find your downward dog position. Again, you might have a bend of the knees, lift your tailbone up, and then you're going to bend your knees, and you're going to lower your hips to one side. Okay, so they're coming down. Come back up onto your toes, let your toes twist the other way, lower your hips down. So we're just here, just moving in different ways, but still feeling nice and strong throughout the points of contact, so our hands and our toes. From there, we're just going to slowly walk our feet forward. So we're going to tiptoe our feet forwards. Should be space, and you're going to come into a forward fold position. So with that, bend your knees so that your torso can come onto your thighs. Allow yourself just to hang. Maybe shake out any thoughts from your head. No's and yeses. Okay, from here we're going to engage our legs and just allow yourself to roll up vertebrae by vertebrae really nice and slowly. We're going to come into your mountain pose, so I'm going to turn and face you. So your mountain pose, your legs track, your feet track down all the way under your hips, your palms turn forwards, okay? From here, I just want you to close your eyes and I want you to feel your feet into the ground. So I'm simply rocking forwards and backwards here. You might want to sway left and right, so side to side, before just finding a nice grounded, steady position. Opening your eyes if they're closed. From here, you can find your hands on your hips if you want to. You're going to lift all your toes up. So you might want to find your hands out in front of you as well to help you. You'll lift all your toes up. I then want you to imagine your little toes at the end of the rainbow. And you're going to try and put your little toes down, followed by your next toe, next toe, next toe. Lastly, putting your big toes down. Then I want you to imagine that you're working from the middle of the rainbow to the outside of the rainbow. So your big toes are going to come up, then your next toe, next toe, next toe, all the way to your little toes. Now just see, can you experiment putting your little toe down and your big toe at the same time? And then just literally just spread your toes and feel backwards and forwards. From there, I want you just to tap your toes on the ground. It's a bit like on a Thursday night when we give a round of applause. You're going to give yourself a round of applause, but your toes just on the mat. So toes going up and down. Then I want you to try and move your whole foot up and down so that it's coming from your ankle this time. Then I want you to bend into your knees and just allow your feet to really make contact with the ground. Good, okay. Coming back to your mountain pose, so just pulling up again. I want you now to close those eyes and again, imagine this red colour starting in your hips, your tailbone, going all the way down your legs, that red colour, going to the soles of your feet. From there, splitting, going through the earth, finding the roots of trees, and feeling a really solid, strong connection with the ground. And that's the feeling that I want you to try and keep as we carry on with our practice. Coming to the top of your mat, okay, from here, finding your feet in the ground, you're going to inhale your arms all the way up to the top. Your palms meet. You're going to allow your hips to go backwards, engage your legs, slight bend, folding forward at the hips. Hands drop down, head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, so your back is flat here. Exhale, drop your hands down, hanging heavy. Inhale, your hands come all the way above you. I've got the fence there. Hands meet, and then hands come to your heart center. Okay, this time we're going to do something called chair. So I'm just come to face you so you know what that is. Your knees bend, and as your knees bend, your arms also track upwards, okay, to look up. So side on, that looks like this, okay? So we inhale, your arms up. Feel into your feet, okay? Check in with your toes. Can you see your toes? From there, hands come together. Exhale, come all the way down and forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come down. This time you're going to step back into your plank position. So we're going to step our right foot back, then we're going to step our left foot back, and we're going to find our high plank here. If that plank position is too much, just drop your knees down. Okay, I'm feeling like I want to stay in the full plank, so I'm going to stay there. Push your heels back, feel into the ground, look ahead of you. Dropping your knees down, dropping your chin and your chest down, so you're lowering down to here. Allow yourself to come through, your feet untuck, your feet push into the ground, your pelvis pushes into the ground. From there we inhale and we lift our upper body up, and we just can then lift our hands up to check we're nice and engaged. Our hands come down, our toes tuck, we come through a bent knee position, and then we lift our hips to come to our downward facing dog. And we're going to pause here, take a nice inhale and an exhale of breath. From there we're going to lift our right leg up and high into the sky. From there we're going to step our right foot through and forward. So we're aiming to put our right foot in between our hands. From there, our back foot is going to turn to 45 degrees. We engage our legs, so we twist them towards each other. We inhale and we bring our hands all the way up above our head, and we check our shoulders and we pull our shoulders down. From there, we exhale our hands down. We step our front foot to meet our back foot in a nice high plank position. You have two options here. You can do lower your knees, chin and chest like we did last time, or if you're feeling nice and strong, you can lower yourself down, okay? All the way, actually, we're going to go all the way to our belly. Your toes this time, press down, and we're going to push up using our hands. We're going to push all the way up to an upward facing dog. And from there, our shoulders come back. If you feel a pinch at all in your lower back, tuck your toes to here. That might be a bit better for you. From there, you're going to allow yourself to come back to a downward facing dog. And pause. We're going to lift our left leg up and high. We're going to step our left leg through and forward, turning our back right toes to 45 degrees, engaging our legs, inhaling your arms all the way up. Shoulders down. Exhaling, your hands are going to come down. You're stepping your front foot to meet your back foot. You're then going to take your vinyasa, so that means either knees, chest, chin,
or it means lowering all the way down. This time, if you want to, you can lower all the way down, hover, tuck your toes, and then allow yourself to come forward. So you've got different levels, just make sure you're working at your own level. Pull your shoulders back here, tuck your toes, come to a downward facing dog. You're going to drop your knees and then just allow your hips to come all the way back and find a child's pose here. Again, feeling the connection of every part of the body that's in contact with the ground. Okay, from there, we're going to activate. We're going to bring our knees back together, tuck your toes. You're going to come to a downward facing dog. Okay, from here, you're going to bend your knees, bend your elbows, and if you're feeling like you've got enough energy today, you're going to do a little hop forward. If not, you're just going to step forward 1, 2. So I'm going to personally step forward 1, 2 today. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, dropping yourself down. Inhaling your arms up and wide. And then hands are going to come to heart center. So I'm going to come facing you this time. We're going to take our weight into our right foot. So the weight's coming into our right foot. You're going to bring your knee of your left foot up and in. Okay, so you're bringing your, your knee to your chest. Okay, feeling nice and strong through your right foot, feeling those roots all the way down. If it feels good, you're going to open your leg to the side. If it still feels good, so you can stay there and just hold that position, you're going to take peace fingers. So that's where you're going to take your 2 fingers next to your thumb, and they're going to go through your big toe and your first toe. Okay, and from there, if it feels good, you're going to see if you can open up your leg. Focusing on something in front of you, you can use your hand to support you. Okay, from there, whenever feels good, you're going to bring your foot across your body, let go of your peace fingers, and you're going to come to your all 4 position. Okay, this is where your left foot is crossed over your right. Now I want you to push your bottom back and lean into that stretch. If it feels good, you can even come down so that you're coming down, elbows meet knee and foot, and really grounding into that foot that is into the ground. Okay, you're going to slowly come up. You're going to bring your knee all the way in, and then lower your knee and just shake out. Okay, you're going to do the other side. So all the weight this time goes into your left foot. You're bringing your knee all the way up, hugging it in. You might find that your flexibility is different on both sides. You're then going to allow your knee to come to the side if that feels good. Finding a point to focus on. Taking your peace fingers, so that looks a bit like that. You're going to go between, you can see my dirty feet. You're going to bring them between your thumb and your first toe. If it feels good, now it's absolutely fine if you just stay here, okay? If you want to stretch out, then stretch out. From there, you're going to come across your body. So left foot's coming across your right foot. You're going to send your hips backwards to feel that stretch. It's a stretch that goes all the way down the side, feeling into your supporting leg. And if it feels good, you're going to come over into this position and sink a bit lower if you can. Ooh, to really feel that stretch. From there, you're going to come up, bring your knee in, whoop, and then feet come down. You're going to come to the top of your mat. You're going to inhale to chair position, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward at the hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale. This time you can step or jump back, depends how energetic you feel. I'm going to step back, 1, 2, into your nice high plank position. You can lower down, knees, chest, chin, or lower all the way down, coming to baby cobra or to upward facing dog. Okay, always have those options. shoulders back, tucking your toes, coming to your downward facing dog. From there, you're going to inhale, lifting your right leg up and high. You're going to step your right leg through and forward. Okay. And from there, you're just going to engage. So we're not doing anything with our back foot this time. Engaging your legs and just coming up to your high crescent lunge. Okay. From there, you're going to straighten your legs. They're nice and engaged. You're then going to turn so that your back toes are facing to the side and your front toes are still facing forward. So they're making like an L shape. Your hands are going to come up. They then come out to the side and you bend forward into that front foot. So you need to have a stance which allows this to be like at almost like 90 degrees. So you don't want to come too far forward. Just to play with it. You'll know what feels right. Your hips don't want to be to the side. They want to come forward. And then you're looking over your front middle finger. This is your warrior two. From there, your palm's going to come flip up. You're going to allow yourself to come up and back, feeling a nice stretch all through here. Rotate that front arm forward, coming into your extended side angle, looking up if that feels good. You're going to bring that arm, windmill it around, come to your warrior two. Okay, from there, you're going to engage your legs so they're both straight. Your front foot is going to now come to the side. Okay, so now both your feet are facing forward. That back foot is going to stay front foot, back foot. I got a bit confused. This foot stays where it is. Your other foot turns to the side because now you're going to find your warrior two on the other side. Your front palm turns up. You're going to allow yourself to drift all the way back, bringing your arm round, extended side angle, looking up if it feels good, windmilling your hand round, finding your warrior two. Again, engage your legs so they're straight, both toes come to the front. You're going to bring this toe forward and sink down into your warrior two. Palm turns up, flow back. Feeling into your feet all the time with this, flow forward, extended side angle. Windmill your arm, come back to your warrior two. Engage your legs, both feet come forward, hands come to your hips. Now your stance here should be okay, but you can play with it in a moment. Just tilt your hips forwards and backwards here. Okay, next time you tilt your hips back, you're going to allow yourself to hinge forwards and you're going to allow yourself to drop down here. Hopefully your hands will find the floor. You can then toe and heel your legs out if you feel that they need to be a bit wider, or you can heel toe your legs in if they feel they need to be a bit narrower, and we're just going to stay here. Now it could be that your head finds the ground. Mine doesn't quite, so for example I could use my block to raise the ground up, because actually that feels really nice, and you've got different heights of a book or a block depending on where you put them. It could be you want to keep your knees bent a bit, so just have a play with what feels good in your body. Check your toes aren't gripping too much. Okay, from here you want to engage your legs. You're going to look up, so you've got a straight back first. From there, engaging your legs, hands come to hips, and you come up. Okay, from here then, my stance came a bit wider, so I'm just going to bring my feet back to where they were. This toe goes forward. I'm finding my warrior two on the other side. My front palm turns up. I let my hand drift back. I'm finding my reverse warrior. My front arm comes forward. I'm finding my extended side angle. I'm windmilling my hand round, finding warrior two. From there, engaging my legs to straight. My toes come instead of coming forward this time, both toes are out to the side. And I'm going to make a big star shape, and I'm going to take up lots of space, because I think when you're living with lots of different people, there's sometimes you just feel like really enclosed. So take a moment just to take up all the space that's yours. Maybe bring your heart all the way forward. Close your eyes, feel how supported you are by the ground. And from there, you're going to bring your middle finger and thumb together. You're then going to bend your knees, bend your elbows into your goddess pose. Okay, and from there, you're going to make yourself into this really nice big star. And then sink all the way down, really feeling your feet into the earth. And from there, let's see if we're feeling strong. We're going to lift our toes up. And then drop our heels down. Lift our toes up. Drop our heels down. Can you go any lower? Nice. Okay, finding that nice big star again. Remember, your space, it's yours to take up. Transfer your foot all the way around. We're going to twizzle it all the way around. And then find your high lunge here. Your hands are going to come down. They're framing your front foot. We're stepping back into your high plank position. We're lowering either all the way down in one or knees, chest and chin, coming through to baby cobra, coming back into your downward dog. Maybe just walking your dog out, pushing one heel down, then the other. Maybe coming all the way up as high as you can on your toes before finding a nice flexion and pushing your heels all the way down. Your knees are going to drop wide. You're going to bring your hips all the way down to your heels. Reach out in front of you to find child's pose. Feel the ground underneath you. Maybe roll your forehead one way and the other way. Bringing your hands back, popping your knees back together and just rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Okay, from here you're going to allow your hips to drop to one side. You're bringing your legs out in front of you and just allow your legs just to gently have a tap. Maybe point your toes all the way down and then flex, bringing your toes all the way towards your shins. Do that one more time. And there. Okay. Again, maybe finding those little fists and just work down the outside of your leg and the inside, outside to inside. We're going to bring your heel, your whole of your flat of your foot, sole of your foot on the ground, arms out in front of you, tuck your pelvis in. You're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. Palms are going to find flat on the ground. You might want to just find your hips and just be aware of a slight pelvic tilt forwards and backwards. You can say there, there and there. Palms find the flat of the floor again. This time when you push your pelvis up, your back flattens onto the ground and you're just going to use your legs, push through your legs to lift your hips up into the air to find your bridge pose here. Hold it and then allow yourself to come down one vertebrae at a time. We're going to do that again. So uncurl, tilt your pelvis, flatten your back, lift your hips up into the air. This time you're going to find a bind, so you're going to clasp your hands together, your knuckles are going to come towards your heels, your shoulders turn inwards towards each other. Legs nice and strong, you can really feel the ground underneath your feet here. And breathe. You're going to bring your hands down, At this point, I really hope you're somewhere near a wall. If you're not, you're going to just simply allow your legs first of all to come in and then very simply to lift up into the air. But if you are by a wall, you're going to twist yourself around so your bum goes as close to the wall as you can, and then you're going to allow your feet to come up against the wall. Now obviously if your feet are against the wall, that's much more restorative, and so it feels like you can stay there a lot longer. And that's really good for before you go to sleep. Even though your feet now aren't earthed, they're not in the ground, notice the parts of your body that are in connection with the ground. And the back of your head should feel really heavy and still. Maybe close down the eyes and just take a few breaths here. Even imagining that tail growing into the ground and plugging in again. You're going to bring your knees into your chest, so just swivel around if you were against a wall. Bring your knees all the way in, maybe give yourself a big hug here, acknowledging yourself and your practice. We're going to make our way to seated position now, so you've got two options. You can either just gently sit up, or if you feel like you want to today, you can do a bit of a rock and a roll. So just rocking forwards and backwards, just massaging the back of your spine until you come to a seated position. In your seated position, we want you sat up nice and tall, and we want you to really feel the ground underneath you. So today I'm going to use a block just to lift myself up. I'm going to grab something that was shared with me when I was on my yoga teach training. So it's just a short meditation that is all about really finding connection with the ground and the strength of a mountain. So I invite you to close your eyes. If you don't want to do this seated, then of course you can do it lying down. That's absolutely fine. So wherever you are, just coming into conscious connection with the ground underneath you. So maybe noticing where your feet are touching the ground, your lower legs, your seat bones. If you're lying on the ground, there'll be more points in contact, and just notice each one of them. If you're sat up, really try and extend up so your crown, your head goes nice and high. And as you sit there, I want you to imagine a mountain. No wrong, no right. It could be a mountain you've seen, or a mountain in your mind's eye, one that you're just imagining. Imagine smoky clouds surrounding its peaks. A mountain with slopes that are both jagged and gentle. This mountain is supported by a vast foundation, rooted to the earth. The mountain is solid, it's grand, it's unmoving, and it's beautiful. Are there any trees on your mountain? Does snow blanket its peaks? However it is, let it be as it is, a perfect creation in your mind. Ground into your posture. So if you're seated,
Let your seat be its base and your head its skyward peak. Feel the stability from the top of your head, down your neck, into the balance of your shoulders, like cliffs descending your arms, forearms, and making valleys in your hands. The rhythm of your breath is your only movement. You are a living mountain, alive and aware. A mountain which witnesses the sun rise and travel across the sky, casting both light and shadows all around. Be that mountain, aware of the changes each moment can bring, yet it remains itself. Seasons flow into one another. The air swirls hot and then cold. The weather turns from calm to turbulent. As you experience the mountain, you can then experience and become aware of your ability to find stability in all changes in life. Like the mountain, you experience the changing nature of your mind and body, the world around you. Periods of extreme darkness and light, of activity and inactivity. Hard times and yet times that fill your life with colour. Through it all, be that mountain. Call on its strength and stability within you. Let it empower you to encounter each moment with composure and compassionate clarity. Be the mountain who weathers the storm. As you bring attention to your breath, inhaling all that is good from the earth into you, reaching the very top of your mountain, exhaling anything that no longer serves you. I invite you to gently open your eyes if you've had them closed. If you've been in a lying down position, gradually bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position. No rush, just in your own time. We're going to meet with our hands at our heart center. You're going to bring your hands to your forehead, wishing you peace in your week ahead, to your heart, to remember kindness towards yourself and others, and to the ground in gratitude. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much, as always, for practicing with me. Well-being tip and challenge. I wanted to bring your attention to the Team Yoga Bingo Zen Challenge. I'm just going to come forward so that you can see this. Now, this has been shared on social media, so on the Facebook page and also on Instagram, and I think it's on the website as well. And the aim is for you to tackle these boxes, so each one says something different, and the aim is to try and get 6 in a row. So you need to have a little look at the ones that you think might be achievable, and you can get prizes as well, awards and mentions and things like that. And there's some really good ideas on there. So in terms of well-being, I invite you to look at this and choose some of your own strategies. It becomes a bit of a self-care plan. It talks about things like eating fruit. So for example, we've talked about earthing today. So if you were to eat colours that are red, so tomatoes, watermelon, I don't know, strawberries, whatever is red within your diet, and really think about that connection, that might really help you. breathing, self-massage. We did some of that at the start. Already we're ticking things off this list. So for well-being, really have a look at that. And then my challenge for you is to share this with somebody else. So find the link and then send it to somebody else, and then you've got someone to talk to about it as well, and you can, not a competition, 'cause it's obviously all about you, but sometimes we all need a bit of nod of encouragement. I'm definitely going to try and do it this week and just see how I get on, because it just gets you back to those basics that I was talking about, like good night's sleep, eating properly, being aware of your actions towards yourself and your actions towards others. Wishing you a super week, or as good a week as you can have, and try and focus on all the good that is going on in the world at the moment as well. Okay, speak soon. Bye everybody.